Welcome to the home stretch. We are just coming out of that final turn of COVID and we are sprinting for the finish line. This is a series where we are looking at 9 things that we can engage with, we can contemplate, practice, and explore as we are going through this home stretch, trying to position ourselves well for what comes after COVID. So thank you for joining us, and let's hop into this week's topic. Welcome back. It's great to have you here for our second week of the home stretch. Now, if you missed last week, feel free to catch it. But if you are coming back in, this is part 2. This is coming out connected. Last week, we looked at our connection with God. This week, I want to encourage you to come out connected to others. Over the pandemic, you may have seen yourself slowly disconnecting from family members, from friends, from coworkers, from all around you because it was just so taxing. It was taking energy that we just didn't have in our lives and have in ourselves to be able to sustain at the rate and pace that was going on. You may have been disconnecting because of a myriad of reasons. But as we come into this final turn in a home stretch of this pandemic, we need to be assessing the relationships we have and the ones that we don't have right now. We need to be coming out more connected. We need to be looking at our lives like a power bar and realize that we have a bunch of slots that now may not be being used. It makes sense. It was a great coping strategy to jettison relationships, to toss them aside just so you can focus on staying alive, right? Like we want to be afloat. But as we are making this home stretch, we need to be looking at reconnecting, plugging people back into our lives and plugging back into other people's lives. Now it's going to be hard because it's going to be awkward. I've talked to a bunch of people and they have experienced there's like an elephant in the room. Like, you were so important to me 16 months ago and I didn't know that you had a kid. Like, you've been so important in my life in the past, but I haven't seen you in so long or heard from you. We're going to be carrying on some of this for a while. But part of it is going to be unpacking, which we'll do in weeks to come, but also reconnecting, allowing space where these social muscles that we haven't had exercised in quite a while can start awkwardly. Like, I hope to go back to the gym shortly. I need it. But I know that my muscles aren't going to be able to do what they did before. Like, it's been a long, long time. And so relationally, as we look at connecting and doing life with one another, we need to start out small. We need to start thinking about, how do I intentionally step out towards connection? While I'm tired, while I'm finishing this race that's taken a lot from me, a push near the end to connect with people will set us and you in a better position come the fall. As we think about what life can look like, what we want to re-engage and reimagine our faith and our community to look like, connection is a critical piece. If we aren't connected to other people, we aren't going to be growing as we should be. If we aren't connected with others, we are going to be seeing a decline in our spiritual health and vitality. I bet you've noticed that over this past year. Like, your faith may not be as vibrant because you didn't have others to bump up against, to be encouraged and spurred on by. Over this next week and in the weeks to come, I want to encourage you to push that muscle a little bit, to maybe call somebody up and say, hey, let's get a coffee. Maybe you do a porch visit, finding some ways to start engaging in relationship with somebody else. It might be that you actually go on a date night with your spouse. It might be that you take your kids out for an adventure, finding some ways to engage in relationships that have just been stagnant and slowly deteriorating for 17 months. As we make this home stretch in the pandemic, we need to know that relationships are a priority. That Jesus was highly relational, that his kingdom is ultra relational. God desires to be in relationship with us, but he wants us to love brothers and sisters, to love our family and friends, to be for our neighbors and coworkers. And all of that is not just like service and doing good things, it's actually loving and connecting with them. So as we go through this home stretch, I want to encourage you to find little ways of plugging people back into your life. They may not be able to take on the same capacity, they may not be in the same way as they were 17 months ago. That's very reasonable. But you still need to be pushing at this time to reconnect with people that you can see value in their life, for you being there, or them in your life, and them being there. Take this time to help us position as a community to come out connected. That is this week's topic, connection with one another. If you aren't subscribed, I'd encourage you to subscribe to us. We got a bunch more weeks coming, and I hope that these one topic things each Friday morning of a week will help you come out of COVID well, help you push harder with knowing that your energy isn't completely wasted. It's going towards the end. And that if we come out of this final home stretch well, our position in the fall, our lives, our relationships will be in a much better spot than if we just drift and slowly get through it to then eventually put in the hard work. So these are the things that are coming up in the weeks, and I really hope that you will be back. May God bless you.